Good morning. I have to be honest with you, I'm very excited to be here this morning. It's like coming home. I lived in the Bay Area for I worked in the Bay Area for about 10 years and lived here in San Francisco proper for 10 of those. So I'm very excited. And to speak to a room of marketers, just want to make 100% sure how many people in the room are marketers? Okay, good, my people. So this is going to be great. So one of the things, whenever you come to these conferences, you cannot throw a rock without hitting somebody talking about data, being data-driven. We heard Amy from Zillow really give some great examples of how they're doing that. But I want to take a step back and think about what marketing has been like. So how many Mad Men fans do we have out there? All right, good, yay. I love Mad Men. And I secretly love it because, yes, Don Draper's dreamy. But I also love it because it's a really great example of what marketing was like 50 or 60 years ago. You might have had a great marketing idea, spent a bunch of money to put it out in the marketplace, sat back, had 3 martini lunches, snapped on your couch, and then hopefully a year later won an award. And you had no idea if your data was working for you. Data-driven decisions of 1960 were trust us. Your advertising dollars are making you money. If you've watched Mad Men, you know that this is not really who you want to trust. Today, the CMO and the marketers are very data-driven. Here's a quote from one of our customers, the CMO of SAB Miller. Sage is also a customer. And he's really talking about how he uses data. They have, if you don't know SAB Miller, they do marketing campaigns for hundreds of brands across 80 countries. And they're really using data to drive their marketing strategy. So I'd like to take a minute and share with you guys how I, as a marketer, am using data. And I'm going to do that by using our product. Yes, a CMO is going to demo. Everybody hang on. But in true CMO fashion, I am not going to do the full product because, you know, I'm a CMO. I'm not the person who demos all the time. But I want to show you just real quickly. Domo connects to, how many of you guys have heard of Domo? Okay, good. Okay, most of the room. That's awesome. So my 1-second spiel on Domo is we're a cloud-based platform that brings all your information you care about in one place so you as a marketer can make better decisions and have better insights. We connect out of the box to 300 plus different systems. Here's some examples of those from, in this instance, for example, we have ExactTarget, Facebook, Google Analytics. It shows you how much data, how many cards we brought in, Eloqua, Marketo, NetSuite, Twitter, Salesforce, the list goes on. We've also taken time to build some really great visualizations on those. For a little under 100 of these applications we built, we called our quick starts. So it comes in and immediately connects to Google Analytics or Salesforce or Bing, and it brings back your data and pre-populates a dashboard for you so that you can start from a painting instead of a blank canvas. But what I'm going to talk to you about today, that's a little bit of insight into how Domo works, but I'm not getting into the technical. If you have questions about how Domo works, please, we have a booth outside. These guys can give you a demo. They can set you up for a custom demo. But I'm going to talk about how I use data. So this is a version of what I actually use every day and my team uses. It's not my exact data because my boss would fire me if I shared confidential information. But this is basically my version of data. So let's talk about the things that I look at daily, my favorites. So first I look at my ROI. And I can quickly see from this visualization, where am I spending money? How is it progressing through the funnel? How many MQLs, sales qualified leads, close won? What are they costing me at each stage? And how much ROI am I getting at the bottom? This is a quick way for me to quickly look and see, wow, I'm spending a lot of money in field, but you know what? It's got the most ROI out of the bottom, and I can understand how leads are progressing through the funnel. How many B2B marketers do we have in the room? Okay, good. So you'll understand, that how important it is to track how your marketing money moves through the funnel through to revenue. I actually used to look at this graphic pretty often, several times a week. Now I've put alerts on it to give me an alert on my phone that says, hey, if ROI goes below a certain amount, notify me. If cost per lead goes above a certain amount, notify me. I'm able to manage by exception. I also go in and look at actual revenue. Where is it coming from? I can see that paid search is doing really well. But my strategic account marketing new initiatives I've been kicking off are doing well also. I have to understand, am I on budget? The good news is I have a 1.6 million budget this month, and I'm about halfway through, budget, which is great. But let's drill into that. How much money did I budget to spend, for example, on paid search? How much have I spent? And what do I have left? I use this card all the time with my team to shift around funds. Where do we have extra money left? How can we use it more effectively? I also, as a B2B marketer, am not just responsible for top of the funnel, but I'm responsible for the opportunities that a sales rep gets. Where are my opportunities coming from? This really helps me to understand that. And I also want to know not just where I am today, but how am I doing against goal? You can see here I have a goal of opportunities to our sales team this month of 1,023. The original projection at the beginning of the month was that I was going to hit about 948. Not good. Okay, so where am I actually? Here I am in the middle of the month. I'm at 429. Is that good? Is that bad? Am I going to hit goal? This allows you to come in and see, okay, well, your current projection is 858. It's bad. I need to be changing my market strategy to hit goals this month. And one of my favorites, and this is why it's in my favorites tab, is this is what I call my Dr. Xavier app. So any of you guys watch X-Men? Any X-Men fans out there? I'm like pop culture reference crazy this morning, sorry. But Dr. Xavier puts on this little cap and you can see where all the mutants in the galaxy are and what they're doing. This is like my Dr. Xavier cap. I can see all the Domo sapiens and what activities are going on. It lists all of our events and what we have going on at any given time. And anybody at the company can come in and see this. So you look and see, for example, on March 6th that we had a lot of social activity going on the East Coast around sales leaders and sales data. It makes sense. We were at a Salesforce tour in Philadelphia. So let's talk a little bit about how my team uses Domo. So I want to give one real example in this. And I talked earlier about revenue. So we could see here, this actually happened to us a year ago. We saw here that LinkedIn was delivering a lot of revenue. Yay, double down on LinkedIn, you would think. Okay, well, look, LinkedIn's actually providing our sales team a lot of opportunities. Even better. Okay, so how much is that LinkedIn costing me? Well, I have a threshold of $2,000 that I want to spend per opportunity. LinkedIn's coming in at $1,900. That's pretty good. It's better than Google, $3,500. You'd think, hey, keep spending. But you know what? Because we track our ERP system brings in our actual spend, NetSuite, and all of our marketing campaigns come in from Google Analytics, and all of our spend, the actual Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook data comes in as well, and we track it all the way through to Salesforce, we can actually see ROI. And this happened to us. We saw that even though LinkedIn looked like a great solution, it was giving me about a couple bucks in terms of ROI, whereas Google paid search was giving me over 5x the return. I shifted money off LinkedIn and onto paid search, and I was a hero at my board meeting that week. Another thing that having the right data allows you to do, we had a lot of conversations earlier today about storytelling and content. So I'm going to quickly show, we look at this as well at Domo. But you know what? It matters for us as a B2B marketer how your content's doing throughout the stages. So if you went out on our website, you would see these actual assets. We have a Data Never Sleeps infographic, still using spreadsheets. Here we are at the inquiry stage, at the very top of the funnel. You know what? The infographic's doing great, lots of views, but not so high a conversion. Still using spreadsheet isn't getting quite as many views, but it has a much higher conversion rate. Well, what happens when I move down the funnel to the qualified opportunity stage? You know what? The BI guide is doing a lot better in terms of views and conversion rates. I'm using data, kind of like Amy at Zillow talked about, I'm using data to craft my content strategy and understand what is working and what is not working. I think using data also makes you a better leader. Anybody in here manage events? Anyone have events in their strategy? Okay, not a lot of people. So we'll quickly, we ran an event called Domo Palooza. It was our inaugural user event and launch. And we ran the whole thing using Domo. So we knew at any point in time where was our goal for registrations and where were we? How much sponsor revenue had we closed? How many speakers had confirmed? Who was coming? What was their title? What size company were they from? What part of the country? How many of them were staying for skiing? All the way down to the t-shirt size. This allowed our meetings about our events to be about the qualitative. Is our content strategy consistent throughout? Are the main stage speakers' main points going to be the same as the breakout sessions? Does the actual branding around the event look like the way we want it to look and feel? We really were able to focus. On qualitative instead of quantitative because we had the quantitative right there. The other thing I think that Domo allows you, or using data allows you to be a better leader, is in conversations. How many of you guys work with an inside sales team? Anybody work with an inside sales team? A couple people? Okay, there's the constant conversation of he said, she said. Sales says, you're not giving me enough leads. Marketing says, you're not working my leads hard enough. We took those arguments away because we put data. So in here you can see, I had an agreement with my sales team that they were going to contact every single one of my leads 10 times. You can see when I walked into the room, only one team was hitting that goal at 10 times. The rest were below. So when they said, "You're not delivering me enough leads," I said, "Yeah, I am. Look at the data." And it changed the conversation. They went back, they actually started contacting leads more, and then we had a real conversation about whether this was the right quality of leads or whether it was the contact. And the final thing I really just want to lead with is I really believe that data gives you bragging rights. I think, you guys may or may not know this, but there's a lot of studies that have shown that marketing and the CMO has the shortest tenure of any of the C-suite. We need to work on our career longevity. And I think we can do that through data and showing results. Marketers don't show enough results. And I think we need to brag, and we need to show how we're contributing. And my favorite board meeting I ever went to was, I walked in the room and I showed this basically a version of this card. And I said, "See that blue part? That's marketing's contribution to company revenue." All the board members listened. It was no longer a fluffy marketing presentation about great ads and pretty content and trade show booths. It was about how marketing was impacting the success of the company. And I believe as marketers, data will drive those results. Thank you.